join. Oh, that is terrifying. Now we're recording. That is terrifying. Right. It starts here. The podcast starts here.
Yeah.
Right.
What is it? Right.
What?
It's abnormal, isn't it? The podcast.
I'm
Abnormal rebooted.
Abnormal rebooted. It's rebooted.
Right.
For you guys who don't know, it's called Abnormal Rebooted because the first time it didn't work.
Yeah.
And we gave up on it. Right. I've got a little notebook here. I've wrote some notes in. Let me just turn my light on because I can't really read them. It's scribbled them with Soviet weapon right in the middle with a question mark. So I will get to that in a minute. So today's episode about Mothman. Yeah. Abnormal podcast. I should address this right before I started talking.
Yeah.
Is about mystical creatures and the unknown, hence abnormal. And yeah, so
Yep.
the Mothman. I think you'll find this quite funny, Josh. He was found. He was spotted at Pleasant Park. He was described as a man-sized bird near where this couple was driving near a TNT factory and a munitions factory. World War II. He was screaming while flying at the car, chasing them down the road.
Oh.
And there was he has big red eyes. His wingspan apparently 7 foot. 7 foot. Yeah, 7 foot. That is crazy. And then I'll probably edit it so there's a 7 foot ruler on the screen. So and then there was a massive scratch on the car. His second spotting was at a bridge. In I can't remember, and then the days after, one of the kids who spotted him went missing, and the kid who he was with, it just said, Mothman picked him up and flew away with him.
Well,
So
it's
go on.
it's sightings like this that really put some skepticism on Mothman. So sometimes the people do believe that's a bit far-fetched, but it could have happened. The kid could have been picked up, but
Where else? Where did those scratch marks come from? Got to be a flying man, but
it could have been a general car crash for insurance purposes. But I'm sure no insurance company will believe it.
What kind of car crash has scratch marks?
True.
What claw marks? What car are they driving? And it was known as the Phantom of Cold War.
I didn't know.
Yeah, Brezhnev was in power at this time. I don't know why I put that. So, back to Soviet weapon. It's because I was theorizing that maybe Mothman was a weapon, like devised by the Soviet states to scare off American people, and his last sighting was, I think, is evidence for that because he was found in Moscow, however you want to pronounce it, with a day before an apartment building blew up, which a Russian UFOologist has said. And I didn't even know that was a thing. A Russian UFOologist.
A UFOologist.
That is such a credential. That is such a credential. So I have put in my notes right next to it. Didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah.
And so with the thing about the bridge collapsing as well, I think he's kind of a warning thing. But if he's a warning thing, why would he steal the kid?
Yeah.
And why would he?
The kid would have been found by now if it was missing. Like, you would have found remains or something.
Maybe Mothman ate him. along with the
Yeah.
bones. Birds are known to eat bones,
Yeah.
but it's not really a bird; it's moth. So
Well, there's no like footmarks or anything and tracks that he went into the forest, so he just disappeared. So there's
oh,
like
he picked them up and flew away with them. Josh, he's not going to walk when he's got 7-foot wings.
yeah, no,
Come
that's
on.
what I mean. I mean the kid. So there's no evidence of the kid going into the
Oh
forest by
yeah.
himself. So it's more evidence from getting picked up because he can't have just like disappeared. Something's got to have
And
happened.
And if I was there and you got kidnapped, I'm not a guy's not. If someone asked me, "Was Josh here?" and go, "Big Mothman took him."
Yeah.
Why would I say that? I'd say that a man took you, not a big
Yeah.
Mothman, unless the man
That
was dressed up as a moth.
yeah. Or I went into the forest and just didn't come out. It's the kid.
And go on,
He won't make up that kind of lie. It's like
I know. And the evidence for the Soviet weapon there is maybe he took the kid so then they could brainwash him to be a KGB operative.
that is kind of because the KGB did have a sleeper agent program going on during the Cold War, with many operated within the US.
Yeah, that.
With the arms race going on during the Cold War, it's very, very plausible that a biological weapon could have been invented.
But why would there be right? That does make sense. You've mentioned the arm race now. If there was an
Yeah.
arm race and it was a weapon, then why wouldn't they show it off like with the hydrogen bomb,
Yeah,
atom bomb? Why wouldn't they show it off saying, "I've got this fat Mothman, you haven't got one, America"?
yeah. I don't think it was
I know
intended
I would.
to be a weapon. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it might have been like an experiment, like a biological one, because they used animals a lot, such as Laker, for example, with scientific
Oh,
advancements.
like, that wasn't a scientific advancement. They sent a dog into space to burn to death. That wasn't really.
Well, they used a lot of animals for science. Like the US used
Right.
monkeys for the space program. But
Ham the monkey. That's his
yeah,
name. His name's Ham. I think it's funny. Because if you cook the monkey, you go, we're having ham for tea. You go, oh, I get it, it's monkey meat. The monkey was just named Ham. So.
yeah.
Your mic's gonna. Oh, never mind.
What mice?
No.
Not mice.
Maybe. That he was like a spy, not a spy per se, but like a sneaky operative. Because if you want a sneaky person, I want them to fly quietly, especially
Yeah,
with 7-foot wings.
and
But then again, if he was that sneaky, why would he chase them and scream?
yeah, with Mothman as well. I don't think it's a moth. That he's built like he's structured like a human.
Yeah,
His
he is.
torso. The only thing that's moth-like is his wings and his head.
The only reason he's called Mothman is because at the time there was a Batman comic with a villain of Mothman, so I thought, name him that. I read that on the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, it could be an evolution line as well. Like
Yeah,
apes.
but we would have found it by now, like, at least skeletal remains.
Yeah, but it's like animals have been like hidden for millions of years. Like a shark. A shark's been found recently. I can't remember which one. That was presumed to go extinct like millions of years ago, but they found it again.
Yeah.
There's that much space on the planet that it is plausible that it can remain hidden for a long amount of time.
Well, if you think about it, if there's an animal that's evolved to hide from things, then you never know it existed, because it's evolved to hide from things.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we might not be able to find it because it is evolved to hide.
And maybe there's more than one Mothman, because why would he go to be America, then travel to the Soviet Union?
Yeah, the moths are attracted to bright lights as well. So that may be one of the main reasons for attacking the car. It may not be violent. It might be trying to block out the light,
Maybe it's territorial since it was
yeah,
abandoned and that was its house.
which may suggest like a mating season or something, like
Oh,
territorial.
mating season.
Yeah, so that could suggest more of them.
That's a funny thought. That implies the existence of moth women.
Yeah,
Isn't there a Mothman cult, or is that just a Fallout 76?
I think that's just a Fallout 76, but there is a statue. So
Oh
that
yeah,
suggests
I've seen
that
that statue.
there has been enough sightings and like stories for a statue to be built in its honor.
Well,
Which
not
is
really, because say you'd want a statue there for more tourism, because say people who like stuff like that, they're gonna go there and see the statue. So maybe that was just a ploy for the to that place to get more tourism, therefore boosting the economy. But then that doesn't explain the Moscow part. Maybe that was just a bit of mass hysteria. But
yeah, might have been.
then again, he's a UFOologist, so
Yeah,
probably mass hysteria. What a credential, honestly. What a credential.
he works for the History Channel tonight.
Ancient aliens.
Oh,
Have you heard that they've kind of confirmed the existence of aliens now?
have they? Has the government
Yeah.
confirmed it?
Yeah, American government. Non-human biologic they found in a spacecraft. Confirmed it under honor. Under oath, even. Yeah, so they've confirmed aliens now.
Maybe that's the next episode then.
Yeah, it should have been the first one now I think of it. But oh well. The Flatwoods Monster. That should be the next one.
Yeah, the Flatwood Monster like really got recognition from Fallout 76. Didn't hear a lot about it until Fallout 76.
I already knew about it. I went through a phase when I was like 7 where I watched BuzzFeed Unsolved. And then that was one of the episodes. That was sick, that.
Isn't it also called the Grafton Monster as well?
No, that's a different one.
Is that a different one, the Grafton Monster?
Yeah. That for some reason they're all in America.
Yeah.
And then there's Skinwalkers. That would be a good one. I'd like to cover that one.
Skinwalkers would be good. Skinwalker Ranch.
They creep me out. Skinwalker Ranch ain't about Skinwalkers though. It's more about radiation and aliens. Yeah. I'll watch that.
It's interesting. Very interesting.
Do you know what we should do? Do you know that mine where there's the St. Helens Devils, whatever the hell called? The little gnomes.
I went there at Frank Caverns.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I'd love to go there.
I've been there about twice now. It has graffiti and everything, but there's like 2 main tunnels. There's like a big one, like a big cavern, that's just filled in with rocks and everything after like a big landslide. And then the bit where it goes down, it's like miles of caverns underneath it, is blocked off with a gate because people kept getting lost down there and dying. So
it's like the catacombs.
Yeah, they go down there like climbers, and they'd find like bodies. It was mad. But the story went. Apparently, if you go down far enough, it's like where it's like a big opening where the mine is. There's a church down there supposedly, which was confirmed by 2 like British Army mountaineer regiments.
Yeah, because when they were digging the mines, they dig it under like places and then they collapse in because obviously there's nothing underneath them. I heard a story like that one time.
Yeah, the miners built the church, and inside the church there was like mosaics and everything. Perfect. Like everything was pristine. Like there was dust and everything outside of it, but the inside of the church was pristine. Nothing was damaged. Wasn't rusting anything. And the church had been down there since the start of World War II. I know Victorian era is when the mine was built, and then during World War II it was used in like as an ammunition storing.
Yeah,
like a bunker, and a bomb hit it. I think that's what caused the main 2 chambers to cave in, and it's just like got worse over time from like rocks falling and everything. But it's all overgrown now. But there's like bits where like young people go and everything. It's in the middle of like a farm, but it's mad. Yeah, so we'll have to go one day. It's like a
we should. Have you ever been to the Williamson tunnels?
What's that?
Oh, it's like in Liverpool. Like there's this guy named Joseph Williamson, and he wanted, because he was like a philanthropist. He wanted people to like have jobs and stuff, but give them money. But he just didn't want to give them money, so he just wanted them to build a tunnel for no reason. So he said, "I'd rather get a man working and give him money than just give him handouts."
True. There's a thing here. I heard they were Joe Liverpool one, the city centre.
Yeah.
They were renovating that. They were like, digging a hole, and the excavator like caved into like this big like tunnel, and it was just miles of like bunker complexes from World War II that were untouched. They just sealed it, and then the entrance had got like so overgrown that it was like unrecognizable. So like because the records were like gone, so this bunker was just like forgotten underneath Liverpool One. And you can see this little glass thing that you can look down into, and you can see like one of the corridors to the bunker. It's crazy.
That does sound pretty crazy. There's some mad like conspiracies and creatures and stuff like what was that one now? That fungus communicates. I know it communicates, but like it speaks to people, not to people, but to each other.
Oh, with its like its spores and stuff. The nerves.
Mycelium, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's communicating with each other. We just can't understand it.
No, there's a thing here where it picks up like frequency in the soil, like electromagnetic frequencies, and they do emit like a pattern, like different patterns each time, and people turn it into music. But
I've seen that, yeah.
yeah, but it
Where he
could be.
plays his guitar and fungus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mad that.
Yeah.
Fungus creeps me out though. It does. I don't like it.
If it evolves to withstand in like higher temperatures,
Yeah.
it can live inside the human body. We have no cure for it.
I know. You can't really fight a fungal infection.
It's like viruses. If we have no immune system, we can't really treat them. We can only prevent them.
I know. And most viruses destroy immune system.
Yeah. So if one virus manages to like overcome your white blood cells, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah. You can't do anything.
Yeah. They can just make you comfortable.
Have you heard of those cannibal tribes in the Amazon rainforest?
Yeah, I can't remember what the tribe is called. They have like the skull painting on them.
I can't remember what they're called, but what they do is when they're hunting you and they're getting close to you, they communicate in like sounds of animals.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, like calf tunes and stuff.
There was a report of like some man. It was like a group of three of them. It was this man, his girlfriend, and a tour guide went down the Amazon River, and they heard like this animal sounds, but they were like off tune. They were like slightly off tune, and the tour guide was like saying something isn't right here. We need to go, and they just like they landed. I think they went to a beach like a couple miles down, thinking they were safe, and the tour guide got like murdered. I think they like started cutting him up and stuff, and his girlfriend and him managed to escape, but the tour guide got like decimated. He was like, yeah, he was gone. He was unrecognizable. They carried him off into the woods.
Yeah, right. What would they do if I hop in a juggernaut suit and just a minigun? What would they do? What are the little sticks going to do against me?
There's a thing here with what's that? It's North Sentinel Island off the coast of India. Yeah. They did that. Like the reason they hate us is because like a group of like Christians or missionaries or something went up to the island, giving them coconuts as like a peace offering so they could come on the island. And they threw one of the coconuts and it hit one of the tribes people. And so they just started throwing spears and they've refused since to make contact with them.
They don't want to go near them because they don't want to give them an illness.
Yeah.
Like they did with the Native Americans in America where they gave them the blankets and it killed them with smallpox.
It's illegal now to go visit the island.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a nature reserve. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite. Have you heard of those stirs in the middle of the woods?
Oh my god, the mimics.
No, just stirs. Like there's just the weird occurrences of just stirs appearing in the middle of the woods.
Yeah,
that scares me. That
they're related to like mimics, like forest mimics. The story is, if you go up, the further up the steps you go, the more bad occurrences that will happen to you or someone like you know. There was this report, this like big like campsite group, like a nature reserve camp, went hiking. This like tourist went up the step, only one step, and took a picture there, and they heard like a dong. So everyone went back to camp. The park ranger was like, "Oh, why have you done that? He went like white as a ghost apparently, and was like, you hurt, you hurt, and he went, no, and he went, someone else is going to get hurt now in the camp. There's women and children here.
Oh
And
yeah,
that
I think
night,
it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
that night, they woke up to a kid like crying, so they went out of the tent, and apparently this like pale creature with no like a humanoid, with no body
Yeah.
features, led this woman into the woods, and they all went, oh no, and they all went searching for her. They found her exactly where the stairs were, no stairs, and she went, what took you so long? And we went, it's only been a couple of hours, and she went, I've been waiting days, and she was like dishevelled and everything. Looks like she'd been like in there for months. And they took her back to camp, and it was like she was acting like a human.
Yeah.
And she thought, so everyone was like, oh yeah, she's fine. But the park ranger said, the man who steps on the stairs says to the park ranger, she's not the same woman she was before she went into the woods. And the park ranger went, I know, I'm not intending to let that thing leave my park. So they went searching. He said he's had one encounter with it before, where they can only leave the park if a loved one leads them out of the park with their permission. But
Yeah.
he'd had one case of it before, where this like hippie had come into the park at a holiday camp alone, and he was under the influence of something, and this mimic led him into the woods, and he came back a couple of days later, and he was dead relaxed. The person before he went into the woods did like chill, nothing bothered him. He came out of the woods, started dressing like in suits and everything, like smartly dressing where he didn't before. Very like smartly spoken. He wanted to do something all the time at the park ranger. He was alone, and near the end of the camp, he started getting dead agitated, saying, "Can who's with me? Who's with me? And I need to. I want to go." And he went, "You came alone. You can't leave." And he went, "No, can you call someone for me? Call someone." And he went, "You've put no one down your emergency contacts." And that night, apparently, the park ranger stayed up and was watching his tent because he thought it was strange. He got out of his tent and dissolved into the woods. And 2 days later, yeah, he just disappeared.
Oh, you made me
Yeah.
think he turned into a puddle.
No, like he like turned into like a wood, like a moss, and just like dissipated into the forest floor.
Oh yeah.
And 2 days later, they found him in a pit. He'd starved to death, and they found this woman huddled away in a tree after the mimic or whatever had led them to this woman. She was huddled in the tree, and they took her out of the tree and brought her back to the campsite. And the mimic was like, I want to go. And she kept trying to get her son to take her with her, but the son left with the father and left her there. And she started like screaming at the top of her lungs, apparently. Went into the woods and the same thing happened. She just
I've heard
disappeared.
this one on those stairs where this man walked up them, and one minute his thumb was there, the other minute it wasn't. It got clean cut off.
Yeah.
Just clean off. And then
It's
I've heard these ones like park rangers where if you go near the stairs when you're on like a search of someone, then you just won't find them.
Yeah.
Because the stairs have some like mystical power or something. They always creep me out because it's like they shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
It's like why is it there? What's the reason? It's like some existential horror kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like the one thing that scared me isn't like all these like Slenderman, like the elaborate ones, but it's the ones that could be real. Like the mimics, like the people who live in the forest and can like shapeshift and everything. It's like
Skinwalkers, they
Yeah.
absolutely terrify me.
Like you wouldn't know unless you knew them like to a certain level. You would not know that they've been replaced. It's crazy to think about. There's like reports of people going missing in these forests, finding them, and then like
They're just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
Like that.
difference.
Have you seen that one of that kid?
Oh, that freaks me out. That the one where he got lost in the forest, walked like 3 kilometers on his own in his pajamas, and he was in different clothes when he arrived back.
Toddler. His facial structure changed completely. I'll
He's
get
been
an I'll edit the video of it.
Yeah.
The image you'll get there. But
He-
it's complete. It's just terrifies me because you're like, it's just stuff you'll never know.
Yeah, he walked a mile, or not a mile. He was gone for like a night,
Yeah.
and then they realised he was missing. They found him like within an hour or two, because the forest where he'd gone missing wasn't very big, and so he looks like he's been in there for months, like weeks at a time.
Yeah, he was like he's like, starving, dishevelled, all
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I've seen it. It's crazy. It's
and
like it's like some time difference there.
yeah,
Right.
it's like I know trauma can do a lot of things,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
stress and everything. But to look
not overnight.
the way
Yeah,
he did
not
is,
overnight.
and it's not instantly either. Like it kind of like it
Gradual.
wears away. Yeah, like they get out the forest and then it takes hold. It's not
I don't know.
while you're in the forest.
I've
And
heard this theory. You go on.
there would have been like other signs as well, like elevated like blood pressure or something.
Yeah,
But he showed nothing.
I've heard this theory about it's basically it's missing for 144, something like that. But why they go missing so much is because there's this species of berry or something that's undiscovered, and they walk into it, and it like drives them totally insane. They get superhuman abilities, and they just run off into the woods. And then once they get one out, they either find them and they look completely different because of it, and that's why they move so far. Or they don't find them because they've just got lost.
You know that
I
it
also
was in
yeah,
his
go on.
backyard though.
I
So I
know.
don't, he knows it. The parents would have like saw this berry first or something. Anything that could have been in danger. He just walked out of his backyard into the forest and looked completely different when he came out. It's unexplainable.
I heard this one of this Down syndrome boy who went missing. He 1 minute he was next to his mum, the other one he was just gone into the woods. He was found like I think it was 4 days later. His knee was broken from a fall and he was bleeding out. But they got him on this helicopter, and the person who wrote the person who published the story said that he asked him why did he go into the woods, and he said because the sad boy wanted to play. And then he went to him, closed his eyes, blinked, and then he was in the middle of the woods. Like, Jesus Christ, that sends shivers down my spine.
It's like mimics and stuff though. Like stuff like that freaks me out. Like forests in general. Not a big fan of them.
I don't mind forests, but it's the things. I'm not scared of being alone in the forest. I'm scared of
Yeah,
not. I'm scared of not being alone.
yeah. That's it's like a what's that? Is it Delamere Forest?
Yeah, yeah.
There's like tons of like doors and just like random stairs in the
Is
middle of
there?
that forest. Yeah,
I didn't
I
realize. I thought, is there? Jesus.
I went walking once with who was it? It was with someone, and we saw these stairs and we're going to no one
Yeah. It's like, why is it there? Why is it there? Who put them there?
yeah. There's no
Oh,
purpose to them.
I apparently there's been documentation since I think it was Ted Theodore Roosevelt has been opening them as national parks because he opened so much
Oh
of them.
yeah, yeah.
They've just been appearing since then.
Have they?
Yeah,
So what,
it's just
still being opened?
yeah since they've been opened as national parks, these stairs have been appearing ever since people could remember. Just boom stairs in the middle there.
Yeah, it's creeps me out that. There was
Yeah.
a story. I don't know if it's real or not. But there was a story of this like door in the middle of the woods. It was chained shut, and
Yeah.
this kid apparently could hear like knocking on the other side of the door. And when he looked around the other side, there's nothing there. So what he did was I think he took the chains off the door, opened it, and it's like a
Yeah.
black void thing. And he walked inside. The door slammed behind him. Apparently, you've never seen him. That's what his friends say apparently. But this kid did go missing. Never found him since.
It's just it's it's the feeling of existential dread that there's something that humanity will never ever know the answer of because it's just
Yeah.
unable to find out.
The thing is, with like paranormal things, they need a lot of energy. If it's
Yeah.
basic science, they need energy to survive.
Someone told me the same. Ghosts can't exist because they need
Energy.
energy all the time
They'd be trying to
But,
conserve it if they did.
but the thing is with that is Einstein's law of energy. Energy can never be created or destroyed. So when you die, what's that energy going to do?
There was a thing as well.
Was it not? It can't just dissipate and destroy because energy can't be destroyed. So it's got to go somewhere eventually.
There was actually a study on this. Someone was dying, and these scientists have spent months building this like room in a facility.
Oh yeah,
That was airtight.
One, yeah.
And it had like a big like weighing platform with a capsule inside of it. And this person was dying, so they rushed him into this capsule and sucked all the air out of this room. So it was like nothing other than this man's weight in this room. And once he died, his mass decreased.
Oh.
And they believe he took his final breath.
Yeah.
So his mass decreased after that. And then they waited until like 5 minutes after all the air had gone. His mass decreased by like 20 grams out of nowhere.
20 grams. I draw that to decomposition, but he can't decompose.
Yeah, it won't happen that quick.
And also, he's got nothing to decompose because there's nothing in the area that can decompose him.
And with oxygen as well, it weighs almost nothing. So there'll be tons of oxygen.
50 grams, yeah.
So
20 even.
They said that this was proof that the human body had a soul.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah,
I haven't heard that. I don't know that story actually.
Yeah, there was what was it? Talking about the ghosts and energy thing. There's this place in America. It's like cemetery, and there's this a ghost apparently called the White. I think it's like the White Lady or something. And this apparently it draws energy from surrounding plants because the plants like die. They go like brown, and all of a sudden this like white like woman appears, and they like a massive like spot of it will just die, and this like white like picture of a woman will appear, and it'll only appear for like a minute or something, but there's like videos of it all over the internet. They go up to it, and they touch it, and the hand goes straight through it, and they have like the hairs raised on the arm. It's weird.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's the unexplainable that drives me insane.
Yeah.
Because I can be scared of a bear, but I know bears are real. I know when they can attack me. I know where they're going to attack me. But stuff like that, you just don't know. That's Wendigos as well. They terrify me.
Well, Wendigos are.
Yeah, Wendigos. Like the original story of Wendigo is that someone who ate human meat. So then they go, because you do actually go insane after you've ate human meat, because your body's hardwired not to consume human meat, because that's what they've got to do. Because if you're not hardwired to eat it, then you're just gonna go into cannibalism as soon as you can, like pigs or crabs do. So we're hardwired not to. But then they made a tail that you turn into this like monster that's skinny. You can see its bones, and it just hunts humans. It grinds my gears. Not grinds my gears as angry, but like stuff that keeps you up at night. Skinwalkers as well. I know I've said this 50 times, but they will forever terrify me because it's just the fact that an innocent rabbit, a fox, could be someone waiting to kill me.
Yeah, it's a lot of them though seem to like focus around like Indian grounds. It's like Skinwalker Ranch, for example. That may just be like radiation things, but there has been reports of a lot of them there, and that was like a cursed land, apparently by the natives, because during like the colonialism of America, they were driven off the land for farming.
Yeah,
and the natives cursed it. They said that the land was already a path for demons before, but they made it a hotspot apparently, with like some beacon. Yeah.
Since aliens have been confirmed now, there's not a doubt in my mind that they have not been here. There's
Have
not
you
a doubt
saw?
in my mind that they haven't been here. Go
Have
on.
you saw what they did on Skinwalker Ranch as well?
I
Where
watched a
they
couple. I used to watch it with my nan. I watched a couple episodes of it, but I seen the. I think the part I got up to is where that guy got a tumor again and he got rushed
yeah,
back to hospital. Yeah.
where he was digging. They said they
Yeah.
were like, we don't dig on Skinwalker Ranch. And like, if we're gonna find anything out, we're gonna dig. And he dug a hole, and the back of
And
his
then
head just swelled up.
no, yeah, and
Like,
he started throwing up, and then he had to
yeah,
get rushed to hospital. Yeah.
they sent a weather balloon up like later in the series, I think, and it was like a detector on all like weather instruments and everything, like radiation detectors, radio frequencies, stuff like that. And they sent it up to triangulate the source of like the radio disturbance on
Oh
the
yeah, yeah,
ranch.
I know this. Yeah.
It reached a point, like a triangulation point, where it reached like a max, and then all of a sudden the balloon popped. It just disappeared. Like it would fall back down to the ground, even if it went to space. It'd pop and fall somewhere because it had a GPS in it. The GPS like went off thingo, saying it lost connection. The balloon never fell. He spent weeks searching for it, never fell.
There was this town in America that they rushed everyone out saying, "Oh, it's now certified as a national park. You can't live here." So they all they're like, "Oh, whatever." They're mad, of course, because that's where they lived. But they all
Yeah,
moved out. But guess what? It's none of the houses are wrecked. It's still left. They didn't wreck the houses. It's not certified as a national park. So why
yeah.
did they evacuate them? What is the reason?
Like with national parks, with stuff like houses, modern houses have a lot of like hazardous material that animals could eat. Like the insulation inside the walls
Yeah.
is made of like fiberglass, which if ingested can cause like lung cancer. If you breathe it in, it can get in your lungs. Which is why why they didn't demolish it was mystery. So
I
they shut
know.
off.
But it's still. I think it's still not certified as a national park. They just got everyone out.
Well, the US government did a lot like that when they were
Yeah, it's
testing the
the
nuclear
US
weapon.
government is dodgy. The US government is really dodgy, if you ask me.
When they were testing the nuclear weapon, they just evicted everybody from the houses and was
I'm
like,
telling you
"Oh,
now.
it's
I'm telling you now. The US government is dodgy. And if I die by suicide, that is not me. It's the government.
yeah." There's, there was a thing, yeah. Um, during the atom bomb test, the US government got like all of like middle class, upper class residents out of the area, and the lower class
The poor
residents.
ones.
Well,
What left the poor ones?
yeah, like the lower class ones that lived in like caravans and everything in a crater.
What gypsies? I understand.
Yeah, yeah. They dropped an atomic bomb, like not so it'd kill them instantly, but so it'd like
See what
uh
happened to them with the
yeah,
radiation.
and mutant, well not mutants, but they got like severely like deformed and everything.
Yeah, it's like Agent Orange in Vietnam.
Yeah, and the Fukushima power plant disaster in Japan.
Oh yeah.
There's
That's supposed to
still
be more radioactive than Chernobyl.
it was. There's babies still being born in Fukushima with birth defects because of it.
I mean, why would you live there? Why would you even give birth there? Like, come on.
Yeah, that is true. The Chernobyl though is like mad.
Yeah.
The
Hey, go on.
It shows how far the governments as a whole, even though it was like the USSR who were known for like sketchy stuff, it just shows that like how far governments are willing to go to keep people in the dark.
The government does not give a shit about anyone.
Yeah,
No matter
yeah,
how nice you are, how politically correct you are, no matter how obedient to the government you are, you step out of line in what you say, you will get shot in a second.
yeah. It was
The
like
government it just wants people to be docile and just listen.
like during the 2020 pandemic with COVID, a Chinese scientist escaped from the Wuhan labs and fled to like I think it was America, fled to America and was held due to hold a press conference saying that with proof that had been released from the Chinese lab, she died. She was poisoned a day before she was meant to go on this interview with like the US press and everything. And it was the US said it was the Chinese government, but they couldn't do anything because they had no proof it was the Chinese government.
That's still a mystery how COVID started.
Yeah.
Even though everyone says, oh, it was a bat, someone ate a bat, which COVID was found in strains of bats, I'm not going to lie, it is found in bats. But
How did it move from a human?
It could be a possibility, but why wouldn't it happen earlier? It would have happened a lot earlier already. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. 2020 years into society, that no one has caught that before. Like, you could say that with AIDS off monkeys, but like, I know 2020 years is not the full 2020 years because it started from when Jesus died. It's just a hyperbole, really, but it's more like how someone's obviously genetically modified that. It's so obvious, clear as day.
It doesn't work like that. A virus can't move from one species to another and undergo millions of years of evolution for that to happen. Yeah.
Why would it jump? Why would it jump hosts anyway? Doesn't need to. It's doing perfectly fine replicating.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously engineered and it's escaped, and that's what caused that. Because it was damn good at spreading. Damn good.
It was like something like that happened in China. The SARS epidemic. It escaped from a lab in China, which was confirmed, and it has just spread like wildfire across China. And the Chinese government refused to tell like people at the World Health Organization so they could get help because they didn't want them to find out that they had a lab. But they eventually found out from reports and news coming from within China, and they were forced to shut the labs down. But I don't think they did.
I don't believe China's got the highest populace. It's India now, isn't it? But I don't believe China has.
Yeah.
I think they lied about that. They definitely lied about that because they've always feud with India with population and stuff. So they thought let's get up our numbers. See, because if you think about it, China is the last bastion of the world that the government is always right. So they want to project themselves as these good government where it's got all these people, or just very good, but then they haven't. Half the country is starving. Do you know the economy could fail in 8 years because they've barely got anyone working because because they've got no women. They've barely got any women now because when there was only that one child policy. When they got girls, they just throw them away. They didn't want them because then the girls couldn't inherit anything. The husbands that they'd marry would inherit everything. Yeah, so it's sad, really, but
yeah, it's like Thingo. What was it now? China is on the verge of like starving.
Yeah,
it
is.
The amount of food it's producing isn't enough to withstand its apparent population, which is like is it 15 million or something crazy like that? Probably bigger.
Well, according to North Korea, Kim Jong-un never needs to poo because he works so much. He burns all his energy, and he doesn't need to poo.
Yeah, I've read something about that.
Yeah.
There's a bookstore. Like, if you want to go to North Korea, you have to go with a tour, don't you? And the bookstore that they take you to is like, they have like 5 books in it, and it's just like hundreds of copies of the same book. And there's like an autobiography of Kim Jong Un, the Communist Handbook, that little Mao's little red handbook thing, which adapted for North Korea.
Yeah, Bento, not like that.
A cooking book.
A cooking book. Well, they've got nothing to cook with. Let's be honest.
Yeah. History of the world, which has been like severely like put down.
Morphed. Yeah. John, I've always thought that the world's history that we have now it's nothing like World War II. I think that's been morphed a little bit. Because why? why would the Nazis agree to be called? Well, not really agree, but why would Allies and the Axis? If you just hear that with no context, surely the Allies are the good guys because the connotation Allies is good.
Well,
So
history's wrote by the victors.
yeah, hope wrote by the winners.
Yeah.
So I'm not a Nazi sympathizer. Don't get that in your head.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying.
Have you heard about like the stuff they made as well? Like the Reich. I don't know how they managed to develop rockets
Oh
before
yeah.
computers exist. Like I know NASA had a computer to put people on the moon, 1
Oh,
gigabyte of storage.
it
But
wasn't. It wasn't even 1 GB. That's the thing. It
yeah,
was like
a
500
megabyte,
megabytes.
1 megabyte.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
But the thing is America let pardon Nazi scientists to
yeah,
work on the space race,
yeah,
so
it
they could get on the
is.
moon first.
The,
So
how did they manage to figure out jet propulsion as well? They went from propeller planes, and with the end of the war, Germany was like on its knees. Its economy was failing, had little to no food, had no resources. They were fighting in Germany, but somehow they still managed to develop jet propulsion, an Me-262.
it's mad. Like we'll never know because if it is, it's probably classified. They're not going to release it. They never will
Yeah,
release it unless it's covering up something else. I think they've done that with aliens, you know, because the US government wouldn't normally say, "Oh yeah, aliens are real." They've done that to cover something up.
yeah.
It's a psyop.
Either that or someone saw something that of like a bigger, like classified thing, of aliens, and they've also it's started getting popular. So they've like, we
Yeah,
need to cover this up with something, and they've gone, aliens are real.
yeah, because they just think we need to admit it now before it gets any worse.
Yeah,
Because
and it,
because if you're solving a problem, let's say in maths you're solving a problem, and you're getting really close to the answer, and someone just tells you the answer, you're gonna think, even if it's the wrong answer, you're gonna think, what's the point in solving the problem now? I've got the
yeah,
answer. So they've done that to just stop them dead in the tracks before they find something out they don't want them to know.
yeah. It's overriding a bigger story. A lot of the media does that as well.
And the US government, they love doing
Yeah.
that. They love doing that. No country is free from propaganda at all.
Oh yeah.
Every country's got its own propaganda. Every country. You can't even argue about that because every country has. Because even a bit of what's the word now? What's the patriarch? Where you're very patriarchal. No, fuck, I can't remember the word. But when you like your country lots, that's
Oh
propaganda.
Oh my
It
god.
begins with P. Patriotic.
Patreon.
Yeah. We're very patriotic. That's you're instilled by propaganda there.
Yeah. Did you also hear about what they managed to develop as well? Like the Reich.
No.
Apparently, they managed to. There's like this place. Don't know where it was. It was like some bunker,
Hmm.
and when it got invaded, there was blueprints on this bunker of some machine, like the Glocken. Like, have you heard about that? The Glocken? Some like big bell. It's like a big bell.
Oh, what's happening with your mic?
Why is it going dead funny?
Yeah, go start from Glocken again.
All right, it's called the Glocken.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it was this big bell shaped object, and it was believed to have like multiple different coils in that spun at different like ratios to create different magnetic fields between each layer of coil. And then it'd open this like big valve thing, and it'd shoot this magnetic like this disruption thing, and it'd do
Yeah.
something. But when they got to the bunker, it was like sealed, and they were fighting from inside the bunker. So they knew nothing could get in or out because they'd welded the bunker door shut. But the machine was gone.
It's gone. So it's like a EMP or what are you thinking? Tesla
People,
coil.
people say it was like It was like an early either electromagnetic pulse, like what you
Yeah,
said,
EMP. Yeah,
or a
EMP, yeah.
time machine.
A time machine.
But I don't think it's a time machine. I think it was like a very early EMP.
What was the need for an EMP though?
I
Did
think,
no need for EMPs?
yeah, at the time, but Hitler wanted to develop his wonder weapons, didn't he? Like the ME262 and the Gustav cannon.
Did you bring back Zeppelins?
Or
Probably.
Hindenburg disaster.
No one's probably got the Hindenburg, that's the Josh.
What did
You
they
just
use? Was it argon or something they used? Was it
nah
his
hydrogen. Hydrogen.
hydrogen? It caught fire and blew up.
Yeah.
Then
Just
they switched.
crashed.
They switched to helium after that, didn't they?
Mm.
Helium or
And then,
oxygen or something.
and then they decommissioned it.
Yeah.
Can't really do oxygen though, can you?
Oh yeah, oxygen. There was a
It's
argon as well. Argon's meant to float. Hello? Oh, you still there?
yeah, I mean yeah. Argon doesn't float. I don't think it does. Argon's used in crisp packets because it's so unreactive.
Well, I'm just looking at those the stairs now, and
Oh yeah.
there's been reports
Yeah.
of isolated stairs in woods and national parks, like you said, and it's brought some like really like unsettling stories. Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently it's linked to like right in Mount Phnom Kulen in Cambodia. There is a 2,000-foot long abandoned staircase ascending
What?
into the air with a drop. They believe there was a structure there at some point, but there has been no traces found of it.
You'd at least find a brick.
He
You'd
said
at least find a.
he said there's big quarries in the area, but the stairs are nowhere near the quarries.
That is. It's weird that.
Hold on,
Yo, you still? Oh yeah.
yeah.
Just went quiet for a minute.
Hold on, I'm just looking now. There's apparently the stairs are meant to border two like dimensions. Apparently,
It's two
like two
realities. Yeah.
worlds, two realities. It says that they're meant to like symbolize journeys. And hold on,
Now you say symbolize. Since on the stairs you ascend, don't you? You go up them. Maybe it's meant to symbolize ascension, like ascending to a higher plane,
yeah,
like a gateway to the fourth dimension. But that's just me going to say. But yeah.
there's got to be there's proven to be other dimensions in it.
Well, not necessarily proven, but there's kind of got to be because you got the first, which I don't know how to describe the first. Second, flat plane. Third, what we're in now. Fourth, maybe it incorporates something else. Time, something else. No one
These
knows. But like theoretical physics proves that a fourth, yeah, proves that a fourth dimension it does exist.
yeah, there was a disappearance in 2008 relating to these stairs, and it's been that profound that the Mirror, the Irish Mirror, and the Sun newspaper have all
Oh,
reported on it.
the newspaper. I
Yeah,
just thought you meant a random Irish Mirror.
no, it's like it's happened, and they've all said the cause was because of a creature on the stairs. They said it's related to the stairs in some way or another.
Well, oh, unsettles me that. Just like creeps me out, like really, really. It's like an irrational fear. Oh, like I've got an irrational fear. No, a very irrational fear of lampreys. Which only have been spotted in English waters.
What's a lamprey? The animal.
Big leech thing. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're on about. I think I do.
Terrifying. I think we should end it now because we've nearly been running for an hour.
Yeah.
Alright. Thank you for listening to our first episode, guys. There will be more. Don't know when, but no more than 2 weeks probably.
Oh yeah.
So, goodbye. I don't know how we've got from Mothman to talk about the fourth dimension. But, yeah, thank you for watching.